Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. So how you doing tonight? I'm just I'm coming on waiting on my guests, Frank Nitty and possibly Shaq. Um, it's kind of interesting. I'm not really sure um what the deal is. This is very very pressing time for a lot of people. Really don't understand it, man. It's more like um but this is some real live demonic stuff we've been having going on. I ain't been able to really put my finger on it all the time. Life is full of peaks and valleys, you know. It's ups, downs, back around, um, and so forth and the like. But you never can put all the pieces together by yourself. I tried it a long time. But the Fed, the Federal Reserve, is one of the topics, Miss Dawson. That's me. That's one of the topics. Housing crash, banking, um, Juneteenth. What else is new, right? A couple other things. That's what's going on. Got a couple other things on the menu too as well. Um, waiting for these people to come on so I can get this thing very organized. We got a couple other things going on, like this food crisis or whatever they call it. What's up, man?
What, BJ, what up? What up, man?
Uh, I don't know, man. What's up, bro? It's more like they say the sky's up, but I think it's falling. What do you think?
Yeah, this shit is crazy, man. It's
I
fucking.
ain't been proven to be wrong yet.
Yeah, it's hot as hell out here too, man.
And if I ain't wrong, if I might be wrong, I'm 95% right. I just ain't got it all together yet.
Mm.
Waiting for the rest of the dominoes to fall. Every domino hadn't fallen yet, but it's falling.
Mm. Yeah, man. This is a shit show, man. A shit show, man. This is crazy,
Yeah,
man.
Monique, to see, I don't know what's going on with these echoes and stuff, man. They've been ever since they banned me or whatever. They echo behind me. I can't fix it, so I'm not even going through all that tonight. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it and let Shaq and Frank talk, and that's it. I might even actually talk less because I need to talk about this Fed raising the interest rates and stuff like that.
Mm.
So that's what I really need to talk about. I might even let them talk more than me, to be honest with you.
Mm.
That way you want to hear that. But we do have um, a situation where the Feds are raising interest rates, and it can be pretty bad for a lot of people. So, um, where is it? Shaq, wait, I was talking to Shaq earlier. Matter of fact, I was talking to Miss Dawson about these looming food shortages or whatever. Yeah, let me go get my earphones. Go ahead, Frank. Go ahead and talk. Let me go get them on and see what happens.
What's going on?
Yeah,
Yeah,
let me go.
man. There's a lot of madness going on. A lot of contrived things are going on in this world, man. You see what I'm saying? For example, they hint off to you and they tell you so much, what they're gonna do before they do it. Like for example, they talking about another recession, another recession hitting, another recession hitting. That lets you know that they're manufacturing it. They're the ones that are causing the recession. You know what I'm saying, or trying to cause it. You see what I'm saying? And even if it doesn't happen, you see what I'm saying? They'll try to hit you with try to make you scared and try to hit you with the fear tactic. That's all it is, man. It's like something right out of Hungarian dialect, man. Basically, you know, was it reaction solution? You see what I'm saying? A problem, reaction, solution. So that's basically what it is, man. It's always been like that, man. It's just different times. Nothing's really changed. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, man. These people are, I mean, just watch what they do. You see what I'm saying? Watch the footprints in the sand, man. These people, basically, you see what I'm saying? Do certain things and, do certain things to make a certain kind of, reaction or problem in the world to where you would have to react a certain kind of way. So it's not, stuff is not by accident, man. It's actually by choice that these people are doing this stuff, man. And so you gotta be really vigilant, man, and really.
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah. You gotta really use your discernment to just.
I'm still with the headphones.
To really see through this bullshit, man. Sorry about that. Sorry.
No, you're right.
But through this madness, you see what I'm saying? But yeah, man. I mean, you name it, man. Even the prices of used cars is up, man. Everything is just like this stuff ain't. You know what I'm saying? It's not a coincidence, man. Just trying to keep you poor, man. And what we learned from this pandemic is that they're trying to basically just do as much as possible so we can spend as much as possible, man, so they could get that much more of a, you know what I'm saying, basically, that much more of a profit. You see what I'm saying? That's exactly what they did. I mean, that lets you know, too, man, if they could pull off something like 9/11, they'll pull off anything. They'll do anything, man. And
I'm going to send you a video to play, right? Because I want y'all to understand what Kamala Harris is up to now. She's been, like, not in the media, but she's still working behind the scenes. Right. Thank you. So I want to play this. I'm going to let you play it. I'm going to actually be quiet, but let me read this disclaimer. I don't know why they got my headphones on, but they still got echo. I don't know what's going on. Maybe the jerks just don't like me to talk anymore or something. Who knows? But whatever. I got it. Let me read this. Fair use. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes of criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute, otherwise may be infringing. You got the video, right? She gonna be the online disinformation.
Oh yeah, hold on.
Yeah. So they got her working on disinformation. Disinformation, not for.
Hold up.
Well, Dawson, they had a rally for Brittany Griner today in New York at Adam Clayton Power Building. Come to think about it. Actually, I'm going to mention that. They did have a rally for her today in New York. Thank you.
Sorry about that, my bad.
Yeah, they had a rally at Adam Clayton Power Center for her.
Get peace of mind with our CarMax 30-day money-back guarantee, giving you time to make sure you've made the right choice. CarMax, car buying reimagined. See Minions: The Rise of Gru, only in theaters. Rated PG.
So, Robbie, what's on your radar?
Well, last week on Thursday, the White House created a new task force to combat online harassment, abuse, and threats of sexual violence. The initiative was unveiled by Vice President Kamala Harris, who gave little indication that she understands the difference between preventing violence and deterring harassment, the latter of which is actually outside the government's purview in many cases. But, quote, "For far too many people, the internet is a place of fear," said Harris. "This affects all of us if it affects any one of us." Let's watch.
Understanding this affects all of us if it affects any one of us. And we, therefore, all of us, have a responsibility to stand together, to support those who have gone through this, but to also recognize they shouldn't have to be alone fighting on this issue. So that's the spirit with which we convene today, and the spirit with which we are doing this work.
Online harassment is indeed a frustrating and pervasive problem. But contrary to the White House's framing that harassers primarily target women and minorities, people of all backgrounds contend with it if they spend, well, any significant amount of time online. A Pew survey from 2017 found that 44% of men said they had experienced online harassment, compared with actually just 37% of women. Quote, it's true that women who have been targets of online abuse were more than twice as likely as men to describe their last such experience as extremely or very upsetting. 35% versus 16%, according to Kathy Young, who's a contributor to.
You see how much BS that is, right? You hear me?
Yep.
You see how much BS that is, right? They're talking about online harassment. Do you know how many women, men get harassed in that DM every day? And you made her like some type of just person to talk about online harassment? Who is that couple here talking about online harassment? Like, what is this about? I mean, they're saying that LGBTQ persons have been getting attacked online with hateful rhetoric and racist rhetoric, blah, 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 and the like. Why do they always go down the same rabbit hole to tell you this crap? Right? You ain't getting harassed no more than nobody else. As a matter of fact, I don't know what are you talking about, because most straight folks don't even be around them. It's just a matter of personal preference, right?
That's true.
We're not trying to come to your Pride Week party. Matter of fact, how you got Pride Month but you got a week to celebrate? Pride Week, by the way. And yesterday they were collaborating Juneteenth and Pride Week, Pride together. I'm gonna send you an article on it. Just yesterday, down here in Richmond. It's a white brewery. They're actually having big festivals outside. And black people come to the brewery every day. We don't go to this place like that, except if they have an event. Had a band out there and everything. What's up? Like, what are we doing? Like the way they just commercialize this Juneteenth thing combined with Father's Day. Look, we gotta have a day. Let's have it.
Damn.
But let's not make this thing a minstrel show, man.
That show
You
did come out on
understand? Yeah, they are delusions. That's the problem. But we feed the illusion too. So, all I'm saying is, enough with the semantics. Because while Juneteenth parties are going on, gas is still $4.70 in Richmond, Virginia. Don't know what it is in Houston, Texas. I don't know what it is in Idaho. I know in Philadelphia and Pennsylvania and states like that, it's up to $5 a gallon, right? Your food. Just talking to the wonderful lady in the chat earlier, Ms. Dawson, we talking about you got to go to the grocery store and spend probably $40 to $50 on 7 items at best, or 8 items, whatever the case is, right? It doesn't make sense. For simple stuff like eggs, bread, so forth, and the like. And we got to spend like crazy price on this stuff. What are they doing? Well, I know what they're doing. Yeah, the price of chicken is going up too, brother. It's something Popeyes, because they did have a 59-cent 2-piece special or something like that. For some reason, 59 anniversary. But if you got a special, right, that means you have an abundance.
Damn.
So was there really a chicken shortage, or was that just another game? See? But go ahead and play the video. I just want to show you that they're a bunch of hypocrites.
to Reason Magazine, where I also write, and she wrote that back in 2017. But interestingly, according to Kathy Young, there was no gender gap in actual negative effects of online harassment, be it mental stress, problems with friends and family, romantic problems, reputational damage, or trouble at work, end quote. So in her remarks, however, Harris focused on the harm to specific groups. She said 1 in 3 women under the age of 35 report being sexually harassed online. Over half of the LGBTQ plus people in our country are survivors of severe harassment. Nearly 1 in 4 Asian Americans report being called an offensive name, usually motivated by racism. No one should have to endure abuse just because they are trying to participate in society. That was what Harris said. And look, it would certainly be better if the internet, and social media in particular, was a friendlier virtual place. It can get nasty out there. I've seen it. I've suffered it too. But the federal government has no mandate to criminalize harassment, which in many cases it constitutes protected speech under the First Amendment. While it has become trendy to refer to any sustained wave of negative online feedback as harassment, well, look, sometimes criticism is partly or wholly deserved, as was the case with Department of Homeland Security disinformation czar Nina Jankowicz, whose ouster was sympathetically covered by the Washington Post and framed as the result of harassment. In any case, it falls to social media companies to craft rules that deal with and define harassment. These rules often fail to strike a good balance between allowing open discussion of controversial topics and deterring nastiness, but there's little reason to think a missive from the White House will improve matters. On the contrary, the federal government's previous attempts to wrangle social media platforms have prompted the companies to adopt laughably bad policies that we've criticized on this show all the time. By asking Facebook and other sites to prohibit misinformation and disinformation, the Biden administration has indirectly worked to outlaw legitimate dissenting opinions relating to COVID-19. For months, any open acknowledgement of the lab leak theory was forbidden on Facebook. The White House fact sheet announcing this online harassment task force makes 2 references to disinformation, suggesting that it falls under the broad category of online abuse and explicitly posits that the government should come up with strategies to stop it. The press release is careful to note that these strategies will take the form of recommendations rather than commands. But given that social media companies are constantly under siege by regulation-happy members of Congress in both parties...
You see that, right? They got a whole memorandum on how they gonna address online harassment and abuse, right? But they also don't want to have no dissent. You heard what they talking about. So is online harassment and abuse really about abuse, or is that what you don't like what somebody's saying that's different? What is it about?
Damn.
Because we're not on the internet attacking these people like they're saying.
No.
You might have a certain segment, but it's not like, you know, in matter of fact, it could be all fake, because Elon Musk already exposed the fact that you got Twitter bots on there that's fake accounts.
Yeah, she said half gay people. Like, how does she know half of the population of gay people, man? These people are too much, man. This is too much, man.
Yeah, we keep on going. Yeah, they's a bunch of hypocrites, man.
They face tremendous pressure to comply with whatever the administration proposes. Several Twitter users, for instance, have already sued the Department of Health and Human Services, arguing that previous guidance from the Secretary and the Surgeon General caused the site to take down their accounts. Quote, by instrumentalizing tech companies, including Twitter, through pressure, coercion, and threats, to censor viewpoints that the federal government has deemed misinformation, the Surgeon General has turned Twitter censorship into state action. That's according to the New Civil Liberties Alliance, a legal advocacy group that is representing those banned Twitter users. So like the disinformation board that preceded it, the White House's new task force seems incredibly misguided. At the very least, its mission should be narrowed to focus on speech that does in some cases fall outside of First Amendment protection. Let's say actual threats of violence, revenge porn, things like that. Beware attempts by the government to crack down on so-called harassment and misinformation, because far too often government figures are actually referring to legitimate criticism of the government and constitutionally protected speech. They're not trying to protect you. They're trying to prevent you from talking back to them.
We all feel safer with what we know, which is why local banks tend to prefer payment requests that come from local acquiring networks. They're familiar, the formatting is correct, and they assume it's safer.
So, this was another one of those kind of, disinformation, online harassment, we got to do something about it, we being the government. And these people are just always so incautious about then when we're actually talking, well, what speech are we talking about? So often it's like, oh, you're harassing me if you're criticizing me at all. There's a lot of that in the media. We've talked a lot on the show about how the Washington Post actually, as institutionally, is really on board with this whole idea that, if anyone in the media gets attacked, this is this right-wing harassment campaign. Right. But then they're criticizing people. They're sicking harassment, unintentional or not. And it's like, well, why is that? Why is it accountability when you do it, but it's harassment when it gets done to you?
So listen, I want to say, I recognize that the internet is a nasty place. I think
nasty.
Primarily for people with loud.
And you heard what you just said, right?
Right.
They always say it's right-wing attacks, right? I don't have no political affiliation, man.
Damn, why does it got to be right or left and shit?
I don't have no political affiliation. What are you talking about?
Oh,
Like,
shit.
why you keep saying it's right-wing attacks? No, it's just the fact that we don't, it's free think attack, okay? The free thinkers do not like this. Okay, let's put it like, right? Make it easy. We don't like your policy. That's it. There ain't no right-wing, none of that left-wing crap. So they keep on saying, let's target disinformation. Don't worry about this video so much. Go to that last video I just sent you, and I'll prove to you that Miss Dawson, everybody in the chat, we were right about the little leprechaun the whole time. I told you he was a lying little leprechaun. But play it. Yeah. Hold on. Go back to it, because we're going to play the whole video. I think y'all going to like it.
Dr. Fauci, the government recommends
What a video. Hold on.
a booster over age 5.
Oh, my bad.
Are there
Oh,
any
shit.
studies that show reduction in hospitalization or death for children who take a booster?
Right now, there's not enough data that has accumulated, Senator Paul, to indicate that that's the case. I believe that the recommendation that was made was based on the assumption that if you look at the morbidity and mortality of children within each of the age groups, 0 to 5, 5 to 11.
Right. So there are no studies.
Fair
and
use.
Americans should all know this. There are no studies on children showing a reduction in hospitalization or death with taking a booster. The only studies that were permitted, the only studies that were presented were antibody studies. So they say if we give you a booster, you make antibodies. Now, a lot of scientists would question whether or not that's proof of efficacy of a vaccine. If I give you 10, or if I give a patient 10 mRNA vaccines and they make protein each time, or they make antibody each time, is that proof that we should give 10 boosters, Dr. Fauci?
No, I think that is somewhat of an absurd exaggeration.
Well,
Senator
that is the
Paul.
proof that you use. Your committees use that. That's the only proof you have to tell children to take a booster is that they make antibodies. So it's not an absurdity. You're already at like 5 boosters for people. You've had, 2 or 3 boosters. It's like, where is the proof? Now, I think there is probably some indication for older folks that have some risk factors. For younger folks, there's not. But here's the other thing. There are some risk factors for the vaccine. So the risk of myocarditis with a second dose for adolescent boys 12 to 24 is about 80 in a million. This is both from the CDC and from the Israeli study. It's also in the VAERS study, remarkably similar for boys, much higher from boys than girls and much higher than the background. The background's about 2 per million. So there is risk and there are risks. And you're telling everybody in America, just blindly go out there because we made antibodies. So it is not an absurd corollary to say if you have 10. In fact, you probably make antibodies if you get 100 boosters. All right? That's not science, that's conjecture, and we should not be making public policy on it.
So, Senator Paul, if I might respond to that, we just heard in his opening statement, Ranking Member Burr talk about his staff who went to Israel. And if you look at the data from Israel, the boosts, both the third shot boost and the fourth shot boost, was associated with a clear-cut clinical effect, mostly in elderly people, but also as they gathered more data, even in people in the 40s and the 50s. So there is clinical data.
But not in children.
Well,
See, here's the thing is, you're not willing to be honest with the American people. So, for example, 75% of kids have had the disease. Why is the CDC not including this in the data? You can ask the question, you can do laboratory tests to find out who's had it and who hasn't had the disease. What is the incidence of hospitalization and death for children who've been infected with COVID, subsequently going to the hospital or dying? What is the possibility if your kid has had COVID, which is 75% of the country's had COVID, what is the chance that my child's going to the hospital or dying?
if you look at the number of deaths in pediatrics, Senator, you can see that there are more deaths
Of
in
people who have had it, of people who have had the
pediatric-
disease.
Senator, we also know from other studies that the optimal degree of protection when you get infection is to get vaccinated after infection. And in fact, showing reinfection in the era of Omicron and the sublineages, that vaccination...
But you can't answer the question I asked. The question I ask is how many kids are dying and how many kids are going to the hospital who've already had COVID? The answer may be 0, but you're not even giving us the data because you have so much wanted to protect everybody from all the data because we're not smart enough to look at the data. When you released data earlier, when the CDC released the data, they left out the category of 18 to 49 on whether or not there was a health benefit for adult 18 to 49. Why was it left out? When critics finally complained, it was finally included because there was no health benefit from taking a booster between the 18 to 49 and the CDC study. Another question for you. The NIH continues to refuse to voluntarily divulge the names of scientists who receive royalties and from which companies. Over the period of time from 2010 to 2016, 27,000 royalty payments were paid to 1,800 NIH employees. We know that, not because you told us, but because we forced you to tell us through the Freedom of Information Act. Over $193 million was given to these 1,800 employees.
Damn.
Can you tell me that you have not received a royalty from any entity that you ever oversaw the distribution of money in research grants?
Well, first of all, let's talk about royalties.
That's the question. No, that's the question. Have you ever
No,
have you
Senator,
ever received a royalty payment from a company that you later oversaw money going to that company?
You know, I don't know as a fact, but I doubt it.
Well, here's the thing is, why don't you let us know? Why don't you reveal how much you've gotten and from what entities? The NIH refuses. Look, we ask them. The NIH, we ask them whether or not, who got it and how much. They refuse to tell us. They sent it redacted. Here's what I want to know. It's not just about you. Everybody on the vaccine committee, have any of them ever received money from the people who make vaccines? Can you tell me that? Can you tell me if anybody on the vaccine approval committees ever received any money from people who make the vaccines?
Soundbite number one, are you going to let me answer a question? Okay, so let me give you some information. First of all, according to the regulations, people who receive royalties are not required to divulge them even on their financial statement, according to the Bayh-Dole Act. So let me give you some examples. From 2015 to 2020, the only royalties I have was my lab and I made a monoclonal antibody for use in vitro reagent that had nothing to do with patients. And during that period of time, my royalties ranged from $21 a year to $700 a year, and the average per year was $191.46.
It's all redacted, and you can't get any information on the 1800 scientists.
Your time is
So
long.
we want to know whether or
Senator
not
Paul.
people got money from the people who made the manufacturing.
Senator Paul, your time is long over expired. I gave you an additional 2.5 minutes. The witness has responded. We are going to move on. Senator Sanders.
YouTube is amazing, but it can be a little overwhelming. At Zephyr, we make sense of YouTube for brands.
Yo.
Yeah.
All right. I just want to show you that once again we win. Boys making mad money. I told you all along this stuff was making mad money. You don't believe that he only got $91, dude.
Oh my God, dude.
Come on, people. I mean, it's in your face, man. My good friend Dawson say, writing on the wall. There you go. It is what it is. I mean, hey, look, man. Somebody had leprechaun soup that day. Because they surely was exposed. But let me get to this Fed Reserve thing. Okay. So people need to stock up food, water, so forth in their life, right? Need to be a little prepared. They keep on saying, "Oh, a recession come by 2024." It's BS. It's already here. What are you talking about? You just had companies lay off a lot of workers, right? What's up? What's up, Shaq?
Big Shaq. What up?
You hear
What
me?
up?
Think it's up on mute, man. But
Yo, these
I don't
people
think a lot of people get it. Like I sent you the thing the other day with Beyonce on the black horse. I mean, the red horse with the black dress. I don't think y'all get it. Revelation 6:4. Matter of fact, go read Revelation chapter 6. Prove to you what I'm talking about. The red horse is blood and killing. Okay. Him? Okay.
The white horse equals death, right? The pale horse.
White horse is death.
Damn.
No. The pale horse is death.
Yeah, that's what it said.
The black horse is famine. I forget what the white horse is. But you got a lot of horses there. So, I don't know. They're getting real symbolic. And they coming on out.
Ritualistic, real ritualistic, man.
I like that. White horse is the toxin. Pretty interesting. Hey Shaq, what's up, man?
Yo.
I don't know where you on the mute, but I do think that people need to understand. Like they saying it's gonna be a very hot summer. Remember Public Enemy had a CD a couple years ago that came out. What you gonna do when the grid goes down? Remember? Remember that?
Yeah, what would they make? You know what I'm saying? These people tell you a lot, man. These celebrities tell you a lot too, man. Music industry, wherever it is, sports, motherfucking, even these reporters, these news reporters be telling you a lot, man. They basically tell you what's gonna happen before it happens, man. I'm telling you, bro.
But we need to talk about this Fed Reserve the right way. All right? Because a lot of people got to understand, the Fed Reserve is a private entity. So it's the World Health Organization. For public interest. They playing monopoly with your money. We don't understand it, so you can, be into the distraction, the psyops. They had a shooting down here in D.C. the other day in Tyson's Corner.
Oh my God.
They had another shooting daggone with a basketball
Yesterday,
player
right?
that got killed. Yeah, but they got a basketball player that got killed too. In New York, I think 8 people got shot. So the sides is still going on. But while the sides is going on, just be aware what they're doing to this economy. Cashless society, as they call it, right?
And then they talking about recession. They making a recession. They make they make it, and then and if just in case it doesn't happen when they say it don't happen, then they then they can still scare you. You see what I'm saying? That's how that works. They can still scare your ass, and then
Yo, what's up, man?
And then either or,
There you go. I'm glad. Yeah, I kept on saying what's going on last time. You must have got knocked off or something.
No, man, I trying to hook my Bluetooth up for my tablet, man. I gotta go in and jig the settings, man. Take it off phone calls and put it on media. All this crazy shit, man.
Oh, good. You just talking about the Federal Reserve.
Yeah, who are they?
I think the bank, they like private, like stockholders in this bank and shit. You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying though, who are they though?
That's a good question. That's a good question. Like a motherfucker. That's a good question.
Like they got us in the doodle twist, don't they? Right.
Yeah. But we gotta understand, we can't be distracted with these con artists. Got a lot of con artists and stuff like that. Talking to a great lady. Yes, they have a contract with the government. Thank you very much. And that's the problem, that they have a contract with the government. Because if you couldn't get a house now, if they raise interest rates, ain't nobody buying nothing. But corporations.
Wow.
Damn, bro.
Corporations ain't gonna worry about the interest rate. They're actually trying to slow down spending when they raise interest rates. That's the point of raising interest rates, to slow down the spending.
Yeah, bro.
But
oh, my bad.
That was the problem I had with COVID. Like, when you lowered interest rates, they knew people was gonna buy.
That's what I was about to say. Yep.
But you should have been buying an Austin, not because you wanna look. Just to be honest, and not everybody, but we had some people that wanted to buy the next PS5, buy this, right? Hey man, Drake had an album. Nothing was the same. Well, guess what? It ain't gonna be the same no more. I'm sorry to tell you. And come to think about it, did you know they rigged that championship last week? Because daggone Drake dropped the album right after the damn game. They had to have, and look, man, you live in California, Frank, but they had to have the Golden State Warriors win because they're going to have the Olympics in California sooner or later, baby. Olympics coming to California.
Didn't I tell you? 2028 and 2029, LA.
Yes, sir. Having the Olympics right there in LA. Get ready. So, but we got to understand. You got to be somewhat of a boycott. Get what you need, not what you want so much right now. Go we can make this real easy. Pick one gas station. I don't care which one it is. It could be BP. That's British Petroleum. Don't go there.
Ooh, British Petroleum.
Don't go there.
I thought it meant Bush Petroleum.
You got a lot of stuff moving. Yeah. But British Petroleum, just don't go there. Forget them. Just pick one gas station. Don't go there. and somebody gonna drop the price. You know, in Georgia, you got gas. Certain places where gas hadn't even just recently got over $4 a gallon. With the oil spill in 2018 over to 2010, because I remember Barack Obama they had that daggone party and them executives down there. Remember that's when they had all them. Yeah, BP was involved. Yeah, they were involved. That's right. They got involved in it.
Damn, dude.
A lot of people, children got poisoned by that oil and that water too. Grown people too. You know what happened with Flint? That's because they were dumping that stuff from the factories into the water.
Yep.
And matter of fact, the damage of Flint has never been really repaired. Because I don't remember how much money. Go ahead.
But I thought Black Lives Matter though.
No, they don't matter. To who?
Remember Obama drank the bottled water and try to act like it was some Flint, Michigan water.
Is Obama the modern day Jim Jones? Who had you drink the Kool-Aid?
Hey, who got the most death toll? I don't know. He might be.
Well, but Jim Jones, and I gotta bring this up. This is where the religious cult can get really dangerous. You can get all the people to go to Guyana and basically kill them. You know, and the ones that didn't get killed, or not the ones that didn't drink the Kool-Aid, they killed them, and then Jim Jones killed himself. Or whatever happened. Right. So
same thing with Hitler, right? You notice that? Same scenario, he killed himself. Damn,
so, we got.
So is that an ethnic cleansing?
Yeah, it's ethnic cleansing. But look, like I just said.
So they do that. So hold on. So when did Jim Jones happen? What year was that?
1978.
78.
November 18th, 1978.
1978.
What else happened in 78?
Right.
They had a lot of inflation going on with Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter was going on. But and the funny thing, Jimmy Carter's still alive to see what Biden doing. That's the funny part. Oh, I just love this. But look at me. I am not mad. Yes, Harvey Milk did have a connection to Jim Jones. You are right. Harvey Milk did have a connection to Jim Jones in the Democratic San Francisco. I think as a matter of fact, Jim Jones knew Nancy Pelosi as well. You gotta remember, Nancy Pelosi kind of old, yo. She old Italian mobster. Go look up Nancy Pelosi's family, how they raped them young girls in the 1950s. They raped a lot of young girls. Her family is called the Della Sandro family. That's what Nancy Pelosi's family is called. Go look it up. You'll find it. It's interesting. So when you see Nancy Pelosi, just remember she is Italian. They had a lot of mobs, didn't they? Just remember. These people.
So she must be Sicilian.
Hey, I don't know. Maxine Waters was a clone robot behind her last week. Cause that damn sure was Maxine Waters standing behind her on that damn photo, man. That looked like a clone robot.
Wow.
But looked like Maxine Waters had skin mask on. But Frank, pull up that article I just sent you where they're honoring Juneteenth and Pride Month together.
Damn.
And let me read something to Dawson because I got the address of where it was at. I want to just the Free Brittany Griner March was a rally and march today, Monday, June 20th, from Adam Clayton Powell Junior State Office Building. It was at 106 West 125th Street, New York, 127 with zip code. So that rally for her today was at 4 o'clock. So I don't know anybody in the chat that went, but hey, it is what it is. City have rallied. So.
Why is this doing it? What is this?
But and it's fair you supporting again. But that ain't it.
No, I pulled it up, but it was doing some weird stuff. All right, here we go.
There you go. Honoring and celebrating Juneteenth and Pride Month together.
What is this?
I don't know. They might want to subscribe to this thing. But that shouldn't be up there. They should let you bypass that. I don't know why that's even coming up. Because I was able to look at it. I don't know. Maybe you clicked on maybe the New York Times don't want you to read the article. I don't know. But the article is honoring and celebrating Juneteenth and Pride Month together.
I just said close the ad. Why is it still up?
You can click off it if you want. It's not. I could read it all off, but that's not my main objective to read it all. Okay. What I'm. Oh, you got it now, right?
Oh my God!
Yeah, Dawson. What up, Dawson? What up, Hannibal?
This is irritating, man.
Yeah, you're right. Brittany Griner is from Texas.
Yeah. And you know what? Dawson. Baylor is a religious school. What? Yeah. Baylor ain't endorsing that. So what's wrong with that? I think Baylor and Gonzaga, they played in the national championship. Ain't that a Jesuit school or something? They ain't endorsing that. Yeah. You're right. Yeah, she should have. If anything, Baylor should be the one that gonna have the rally. Hey, I guess Baylor is not into LGBTQ practices. Hey, man. Dang. You don't even get accepted by your own college. Ain't that something? That's wild. I like that. Like Dawson says, it's hilarious. It really is hilarious. Right? Yeah. But that's really, really bad. But you're right. It's in New York City. A place where she ain't even from. But however, the mayor of New York the other day did just give LGBTQ persons 6.7. He put them in his 6.7 million budget for the year to extend services for them. So maybe that's why he did it.
I think what kind of service? See, they're talking about, you know, $50 million something allocated to this, to the Asians, or this to the you know what I'm saying? To this group or that group. What sector are they gonna be spending that shit in? What sector is that for? You know what I'm saying?
Frank, don't talk. Hey, look, I'm gonna be dead on with you. Don't talk about them Asian Hispanics too much, because I'm gonna say one thing about them Asian Hispanics. One thing about them Asians in San Francisco, they got that DA out of there. That Soros DA, get your ass out. Daggone in Texas, Republican Congresswoman just stole a house seat in the place. Daggone, well, she didn't steal it. She won it. But daggone, they never thought she'd win. She come and win a house seat. I'm like, yo, what's up? I mean, the Asians, the Hispanics, the Cubans, everybody else get what's on the wall. Daggone, do we have to have a dunce cap on our forehead or something to get it?
I'm telling you, these older people, man, these older people, you know what I'm saying? It's these gatekeepers. You see what I'm saying? Like, see the Hispanics and the Asians and shit like that, they may have like Masonic people and like, you know what I'm saying, gatekeepers and stuff for them, but it's not the same. Those people, they're people, and they're secret society people, or they're people that's up there, you know what I'm saying, called so-called leaders, which they don't call leaders. They actually have agendas for them. They actually got plans for them. They fight for them. These people that we got, they do the opposite, man. You see what I'm saying? They fight for other groups.
They got Kamala Harris talking about she collard greens.
Damn, what does that have to do with anything, man? What does
Let me tell you something, man. Them people in South Carolina, and I know people from South Carolina, man. But y'all ain't gonna sit and tell me this fucking Jim Clyburn won a damn primary. I mean, the dude Dixon, I heard him talk a couple times. I just wanted to shake up the apple cart a little bit. I ain't even care if he won, but daggone, come on, man. I mean, like Jim Carver, I give her fish fries. Hey, thank you, man. I cook my own fish at home. Hey, Frank, you can cook your own fish fries. You can cook your own fish fries.
Damn, dude.
Why need Jim Carver to give me fish and chicken?
Look here, man. Old Negroes ain't gonna do nothing new.
Ooh, that's a good point. They ain't gonna do nothing new.
They ain't gonna do it. They gonna do it. Even in their face, it tell you that that's not the way to go. They still gonna continue to go what they know.
Well,
Or what they was
our
taught.
AI is coming. You just heard it just came out and said the AI is sentient now, and it has thoughts and feelings like you do. So, I don't know, man. Maybe they stuck on AI themselves, or as Shaq called it, Negro autopilot. I don't know which one it is. They might be on artificial intelligence already. Who knows, right?
Oh no, they on autopilot. I keep telling you about it, man. I mean, Joe Biden told y'all if you ain't black, I mean, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. That boy say you isn't black. That boy say you ain't black. So he know niggas.
We got pimp slapped him. Hey, man. I gotta give Joe Biden one thing. Hey, not only that, they got mad at Kanye West. Look, now check this out. I remember that time when Kanye West said that. You had black people that won't say nothing about him messing with Kim Kardashian. And then they came and said, with Kanye West, he would say that because he's dating a white woman. But they won't say that at first, though. You know what?
Hold on. Saying Kanye West wouldn't do what?
They were not knocking him for dating Kim Kardashian at first. They started talking about he dating white women after the fact when he said slavery was a choice. They said he would say that when he dated white women. But no, it should have been like that before that.
But it is a choice, though. Think about it. Even if we track the history on it, a lot of people was enslaving themselves because they couldn't. No, let me stop. Because people ain't ready for their history.
They ain't ready for it.
They ain't. It's the truth, though. I mean.
Oh, man, go ahead, man. Keep it going, man. Hey, man. Truth telling, man. Go ahead and say it, man. They ready for it. If they ain't ready for it, they gotta get ready. Shit. Don't worry about it.
But you know what? I would have voted for Kanye because at least Kanye looked like he was trying to get some tangible items.
Ooh, I know.
We don't like
he was smart enough to try to
we like Chucks and Pearls.
At least he was smart enough to try to leverage his relationship with Trump to get some tangible items.
Hey, man. Didn't I tell you what that dude told me at the gym, man? When the dude told me that he'll pay $7 of gas before he let Donald Trump get back in office.
Damn. the big bad scary man, huh? These people are
I don't know why these people. Hey, look, man. I don't understand. You know, this is what I'm saying, man. This is why I ain't gonna say I miss Trump, but this is why I enjoy it. Cause I mean, it's kind of like some boogeyman type stuff, man. Like, ooh, you ain't got no boogeyman, man. You tell us to see white supremacists. Remember remember last week they talked about Frank about that pride march down there, and they talked about, oh, these white supremacists came in a van or stuff to interrupt the pride march and all that. Come on, people. In Idaho, man. Come on, people. No, man. Like, nobody wants to come to your pride march. Stop it. I don't want to come. You don't want to go. Don't nobody care about your pride march. Now, I want you to do me a favor. Pull up the day when Michelle Obama lit the White House in rainbow colors. and you'll see why this is Pride Week. Remember, they get to celebrate Pride really 365 days a year. They tell us you only got Black History Month for 28 days, 29 if you got leap. They get it all the way around because they get damaged.
Well, we know now. Obama administration was the prelude to this, because he in 2009, what did you say he do, Bernard? He decriminalized sodomy.
Sodomy off the Department of Defense.
Yeah, he did, huh?
There you go.
But you gotta look at Obama was around. Richard Branson, these type of clowns. You know, you hang out with Richard Branson and shit. You know, here's what it is. Now we got to deal with, every week we talking about January 6th again. I don't care about January 6th. Yeah, dang, I got to make it to July 6th first.
Damn.
Shit, I got to hurry. Shoot, we got people that ain't going to make it to July 6th. They're not worried about January 6th.
The January 6th is so man. But see, the thing is, I mean, I ain't taking no kind of sides, man. But the thing is that they was well in their rights to do what they did. People don't realize, man. You see what I'm saying? You could, in the Declaration of Independence and in the Constitution, they said, if you're not satisfied with your government, man, you have, the rights to, dismantle it. You know what I'm saying? So I mean,
I got a question about Juneteenth. I got a big question. You don't even have a lot of states even celebrating this thing, man, as a paid holiday, right?
Damn, I know.
Yeah. All right. Now look at this. I want y'all to see this. What day is that when they lit the White House up? Oh, there, look at that rainbow. That's it. Look at that nice rainbow. June 20. Well, it should be June 15, 2021. Well, maybe they lit it. Oh, I get it. That's the anniversary. So June 25th, which is this Saturday, is the anniversary of when they lit the White House up in Pride colors. So that's it right there. You see it in the corner right here. LGBTQ Pride Month reception at the White House.
Now, Frank, can you pull up when Trump was in office? I think let me see. I think it was 2018. Okay, hold on. He tried to sign something to celebrate the 400 years of slavery.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
The 400 years of slavery. Why they didn't like the White House then? For that. For commemorating the 400 years of slavery. They don't ever talk about that what Trump was going to do. He had that Juneteenth already in his what's the name?
He did. And the first.
He already had,
With the first step back, no.
He was the first one talking about it, about making it a federal holiday for
the
so-called black.
Platinum plan. There you go.
Yeah.
Damn, I know, huh? Damn, dude. Well, then hold up, because wait, Trump. Okay, wait. Okay, let me see. Wait, hold on.
The New World convened.
The New World?
By the devotion of generations of patriots and has flourished throughout the ages. And now that proud tradition continues with all of you. To every Virginian and every
Oh yeah, Fair Use Act
with us
1976.
today. Congratulations.
This is just for commentary
on
purposes only.
incredible centuries of history, heritage, and commitment to the righteous cause of American self-government. This is truly a momentous occasion. I want to thank the Governor of Virginia for inviting me to speak at this very important event. And with us this morning are many distinguished guests and officials from across the Commonwealth, including Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax, Speaker Kirk Cox. Thank you, Kirk. Thank you. Senate Majority Leader Tommy Normant. Thank you. Tommy. Thank you. And members of the host and other federal, state, local, and tribal leaders, all with us today. Thank you very much. We're also very thankful as well to have with us Secretary Ben Carson. Ben, thank you very much, wherever you may be. Thank you, Ben. And Acting Director.
Wait, hold up. Oh yeah, no, that was it. My bad. Hold on.
The New World convened by the Justin Fairfax, Director,
Okay, hold up.
in pursuit of one wild and very improbable dream. They called that dream Virginia. It had been only 13 years since three small ships, the Susan Constant, the Godspeed, and the Discovery, set sail across a vast ocean. They carried 104 settlers to carve out a home on the edge of this uncharted continent. They came from God and country. They came in search of...
Hold up. Wait, hold up. You want me to play this, the Kanye, what Kanye said or what, y'all? Yo.
Yeah, cue it up.
Hold up.
Yeah, play that Kanye one.
All right, this is Fair Use Act 1976. This is for commentary purposes only and educational purposes. By no way or any means are we trying to copyright this material or infringe on the copyrighted material.
Kanye West gave his first interview Monday since his controversial return to Twitter. West appeared on the celebrity gossip show TMZ Live to discuss his embrace of President Trump as well as his views on slavery.
Hear about slavery for 400 years? For 400 years? That sounds like a choice. Like, you was there for 400 years and it's all of y'all? You know, like, it's like we're mentally in prison. I like the word prison because slavery goes too direct to the idea of blacks. It's like slavery, Holocaust Jews, slavery is blacks. So prison is something that unites us as one race, blacks and whites being one race. That we're the human race.
Do you feel that I'm feeling? Do you feel that I'm being free and I'm thinking free?
I actually don't think you're thinking anything.
Uh-oh.
That TMZ writer who confronted West over what he called the real-life consequence of his words, saying he was disappointed, appalled, and hurt by what West had turned into. Joining me now to discuss Kanye's comments is Tanisha Ford. She's an associate professor of Africana Studies and History at the University of Delaware, as well as the author of Liberated Threads, Black Women's Style and the Global Politics of Soul. Welcome to you, Tanisha. Well, let me start off with these comments on slavery. What did you make of what you heard from Kanye West there?
Those comments show how completely out of touch Kanye is at this moment in time. And I think, frankly, they would have his mother, Donda West, a former college professor, enraged at what he said. And it's a far cry from the Kanye West we knew when he made the song Crack Music, which made a link between slavery and the prison industrial complex and the rise of crack cocaine use in the black community. That Kanye seemed to be so well informed, so grounded and in touch with the culture and the people who live through that culture. But this Kanye seems erratic, and his comments are again out of touch, they're off base, and they speak to no real historical precedent.
What is the impact? Obviously, communities of color are not a monolithic group. I mean, there is diversity of thought within communities of color. Nevertheless, what do you think the impact of these words could be?
Well, I mean, I think for a particular generation of folks who grew up with Kanye and see him as a voice of the people, an activist of sorts, someone who's used his music to speak to the disparities within the black community, this is a big letdown, But for another generation of people, this is the only Kanye they've known, a person who is unraveling, someone who is inconsistent in their words, someone who makes erratic choices. And so, I mean, I guess it depends on what your long-term relationship is with Kanye, how you can understand this moment. But I'm grateful for people like John Legend, who's always the voice of reason, who tried to step in and tell Kanye that, hey, you have viewers who look up to you and who expect you to be on the right side of justice, and you really missed the mark here.
Well, in another video, this one a behind-the-scenes video with the rapper T.I. posted on Kanye's website, he explains what draws him to President Trump. Let's take a look at that clip.
I did not wear that hat to hurt him. Half the Trump does, I don't agree with.
What hat do you agree with? Let's get that out.
Just the ability to do what no one said you could do, to do the impossible, is the most inspiring thing to me.
All right, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's interesting because he and T.I. have a song together in which they, speak to their own political stances on this issue. But in part, it doesn't shock me that Kanye would find someone like Donald Trump, like pre-presidential Donald Trump, as a role model or someone to look up to, someone who, in his eyes, he thinks of as being self-made, even though we know Donald Trump is part of a very long lineage of, I would say, crooked people in real estate and business in New York City. But this person who's risen up and, has become, in his eyes, a billionaire. I think that would be appealing to someone like Kanye, who clearly thinks of himself with a sense of grandeur, who thinks that he too is larger than life, that he is on par with a Walt Disney and other, huge cultural figures in our American society and popular culture and entertainment. So it doesn't shock me there, but still it's disturbing nonetheless to see this guy who I once myself turned to his music, to want to hear his voice on songs like Just to Get By, where he's sampling Nina Simone, where he seems to be really grounded in a sense of a grassroots struggle, to now think of someone as Donald Trump as a person worthy to be worshipped.
What about his explanation that he is thinking freely?
Right, but the thing about it is that Kanye, in my mind, has always been a free thinker, and he hasn't had to turn to these particular cultural touch points and phrases like "Make America Great Again" in order to be a free thinker. So I'm wondering, what is causing this particular turn for him? And I think that it's a mixture of unchecked trauma after the death of his mother. I think it's also the opioid addiction that he's admitted to. I think he's overworked and overstressed, and he's a part of a family that makes a living out of being out of touch with reality, existing in their own self-created reality that often includes a lot of drama. And I think that is a cocktail for a disaster.
This, of course, has been such fodder for Twitter. I mean, what do you think folks on Twitter are perhaps getting right, and what are they missing about this situation involving Kanye?
Well, here's the thing. Black Twitter is brilliant and is a knower of all things, right? The collective that is Black Twitter. And Black Twitter has long since put a finger on Kanye West and has said that something is awry here. here. We don't know all the ins and outs of this, but something is awry. And when we see a fallout like the one we've seen between he and Jay-Z, we know that something is amiss. And so I think that they are asking really smart questions about Black genius and what does it mean to once consider Kanye a Black genius and now to see him in this state and in a moment where we see other Black men in particular that we've heralded as geniuses and leaders of the culture fallen this week. I mean, it's an important conversation to have, but at the same time, I do like hearing more complex conversations about mental illness, for example. I don't think it's so easy to just chalk this up as to a sense of mental illness and a problem there. So I think that as usual, Black Twitter, in particular the Black feminist community that's a leading voice in Black Twitter, is getting this conversation
Black
right.
feminists.
Sparking
She
a
said
lot
Black
of discussion.
feminists.
Tanisha, thank you so much.
She said it.
Dude, that's what I'm saying, dude. That's what.
Hey,
Man.
I need a comment on that, yo. That is so crazy. Hey, she was character assassinating like hell on the sneak tip. She said it could be mental illness. I said, yo, I'm done.
Then she said mental illness, dude. Damn, so you can't have another. So if you have a different kind of opinion besides everybody else and besides, you know what I'm saying, the status quo or whatever, you know what I'm saying, then you got to be mentally ill. Damn, dude.
Dawson, you're right. Kanye said slavery is a choice. You see how she said that? She said that his mother would be disappointed in him.
Then how you
know that, right?
Damn. What'd you say? These people sick.
Even the journalistic lady say, we know that color people are not modern people, right? We don't have the same idea.
What do they mean, people of color, though? What is that? So, I mean, they're trying to make it seem like we're crayons and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like we're a box of crayons and shit, man. It's like people of color.
Hey,
that's another
that was
buzzword.
A funny ass video, man. That was a funny ass video.
Yeah, she was sneak dissing him a lot. She was going for some sneak.
Yeah, she was sneak dissing, Frank.
That's wild, dude.
But she said the Black feminist community will have that say on Twitter. So she just let you know.
But she wouldn't.
She ain't talking about no men now.
Right.
See, and you know these. You get these black women, you know, so-called quote unquote on these other stations and shit, talking about, oh, very little black women are feminists and shit like that. Shit, dude. Man, I don't know. And maybe I think a lot of them have that feminist mindset and don't even know it. You know, it's that indoctrination process.
I'm gonna bring something up, and I'm sure people not gonna like it. Y'all might like it in shit. You know, I got a friend of mine. He called me one day, and he said, Bernard, what's going on with these women today? When I'm riding, you know, I'm giving them the newspaper, find a call. He said, we see all these women with these long lashes, right? Right? And I said, he said, have you been realizing that lately? I said, you know what, I have been realizing them putting on these long lashes over the last 4 years. And he was like, yeah, it just looks wild. I said, well, could be, they claim, you ask them, three options. One, you're not supposed to ask that to a woman. Two, you shouldn't worry about you not paying. Or three, why are you asking? You know, some of them ask why you asking, them tell you because they want to look pretty. But it's kind of like the movies of the Wizard of Oz. You remember the thing with the Tin Man? They say he didn't have a heart, right? The Scarecrow, he didn't have a brain. The Lion didn't have no courage, right? That's what they say. Until they met the wizard. But then you found out you had the gifts all the time. So you were pretty anyway. Why'd you need the lashes? You already got an lashes when you're born, right? You know, you don't have to I mean, I'm sure, you know, a little makeup is okay sometimes, but you don't have to. Like, try to be a supermodel every day. You already a supermodel when you was born, if you want to look at it that way. That's why I say I don't understand why all the cosmetic surgery and stuff. We did not used to do this as much, man.
That's true.
Right? So it just, you know, I'm talking about 95-year-old aunt, man. She's even saying, she trying to find out what's going on. I'm like, look, hey, man, this wave of feminism, just, you know, but the thing with the lashes and stuff, you set it up for the RuPauls of the world. Tyler Perry, the Dwayne Wades, these types.
Damn.
I know they call it bussified these days. They call it bussified. Correct. So we got a lot of circus clowns running around, sitting there talking about it. And then, you know, talking to a lady today, and I got to get on the me on this one too, somewhat, because the young lady was online. She was talking about, I realized I gained a lot of weight and I need to lose it. You know, she like a lot of friends telling me that, you know, oh, you look good with that weight. It ain't nothing wrong being thick, blah, 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 this, that, and third, right? Mm-hmm. And she was like, but I realized I need to go to the gym and I need to change it. So I said, it's great that you acknowledging that, because a lot of people, we are not acknowledging and let the problem keep going on, right? But then you had men that came in the chat, and some women too, said, girl, you look fine just the way you are now. She already told you she realized she needed to change it. And they still adding on. I told her, you realize you need to change it. The reason why this problem can persist, because you can tell somebody, hey, look fine, when you don't even believe that. But because we done got this culture. Like I told, like, I'm 34 years old. When I was young, I mean, you know, I didn't see that many obese people. And that's why you had Queen Latifah just come out last week and said, I don't care what these medical doctors tell you, that I'm not obese, I'm thick. They graded me as obese, but I'm really thick. That's what she said. That's what they're saying. Like, I see you putting like Lizzo in the chat. But what I'm saying, I mean, it's processed food. You know, I was looking at a video this morning, and they were
so
talking
hold on,
about,
Bernard. Would you hit Queen Latifah?
Relax. But I'm not. But what is what I'm saying, man? I'm not even getting into whether you hit. I'm just talking about a general conversation right here, because I watched a video this morning about skin cancer, right? And they did a study. It said that the people who ate the SAD, or like Chaq said, the standard American diet, had a 25% increase in skin cancer, while the people who didn't eat, who ate the healthier diet, developed no cases of skin cancer.
Ooh.
Why am I saying that? Because they keep saying you need to stay out of the sun, right? The sun is the greatest thing in life, right? So I don't understand why we're saying, oh, it's hot outside, we don't need to be in the sun. You know, it's like we almost scared of the earth these days. And you know who helping this crap? These pimp pastors in the church who keep on perpetrating the lie. Stop it. Please, processed food kills your spirituality. Yes, it does. And, you know, I've met people from all over. I'm not even really gloating on this. I'm not gloating on this. I'm not trying to, you know, get into a roundabout, because I don't see people of all kinds, you know, that have some. But, you know, when you're in the gym, like I am, sometimes, you know, you ask people, you know, to go to the gym, right? Some people say yes, but you also have a lot of women say no. You know, I want to sit in bed and watch my TV shows, love and hip hop. I mean, look here. You might want to go to the gym and watch love and hip hop. That stuff is poison, man. That kill your spirituality.
Well, she ain't got to go to the gym. She can go walk right out, right there, watch the hip hop.
Yeah, you know.
You can do it right at home. Don't make that excuse that they got to go.
Yeah, you're right. But what I'm saying is, it's better than sitting on the bed and watching love and hip hop. That's what I'm saying. You know?
No, I agree with you.
Hey, look, man. I still don't get how we watch reality TV when ain't nothing real about it. Reality TV. Ain't nothing real about it, man. Yeah, you're right. We are the sun people. White folks are. That's right.
And don't forget that TikTok too, man. That shit too, dude. That shit. We be on some entertainment shit, man. Like just like either want to be entertained or, you know, try to entertain for, you know, for clout entertainment. Right.
Hey, you know, there's no more. But hey, look, like I told you, my buddy Turner in the chat. Hey, man. When they see that hologram,
what up, Turner?
When they see that hologram of that white Jesus, then we really be working with something. Hey, look, because I was just thinking about this the other day. I think a lot, man. And I be sitting there saying, why is it that, now this is a real oxymoron now. I want y'all to hear this now. It's a lot of women that be saying on Instagram, or I see what they be saying, I don't need no man, right? The only man I need is God. Well, you still need a man if that's the case, right? So what do you say? What do you say?
Hold on, who said God was a man, though?
But that's what they say, man. You know, I done heard them say, I don't need no man. All I need is God. Well, you're right. Who say, all right. Well, I give you that, Shaq. But you still refer to him as him. They still refer to it as a he. So I hope it's a man. Not a transgender.
Man. Oh, dude.
I'm asking.
Easy.
It's just crazy, man.
And look, like Kanye put up the Twitter thing on the free thinker. I'm just here to make you think, man.
I mean, she was really trying to go in on Kanye. See, I mean, that just goes to show too, man. No matter, if you have a different kind of.
Why she talking to a white girl about it though?
Or true. I know. Or different. That's a good point. Or a different type.
Why
of
she could have got.
You know what I'm saying? Then you're gonna be labeled an outcast. Something wrong with you. You crazy. Damn. You know it's funny. They throw the mental health on the white boy mass shooters and shit like that, dude. But you know what I'm saying, and kind of try to justify them. You know what I'm saying. But they'll throw, when we got a different set of opinions and shit, they'll throw the mental health on us. Ain't that something? To bash us, not to simplify with us, but to bash us. You see how they do that? That's that white media that people trust in and believe in so much, man. That's that media for you. You know what I'm saying? The ones that we get these false flags and shit. Automatically, everybody believes it. We see that there was a shooting in D.C. Everybody believe it. When motherfuckers running, nobody ducking, nobody getting into no cars. Everybody just running. Like that's a real shooting event. You know what I'm saying? A real shooting event, dude. Like we don't. You know, we process the information, dude. You know, okay, for example, we got the Pentium processors now in the computers, the fast ass processors, right? But we process information like back in the day, 92 IBM computers and shit, dude. That's slow and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't, you know, there's a malfunction when we process shit, man. It's from a standpoint of motherfucking, basically, of emotions and shit. You know, it ain't no thinking at all, no logic or anything like that, and it's just emotions and shit.
If you Annihilators, Jolly Records, Freezer Pops, what you think your brain gonna hey?
That's true.
Come on now, let's be honest. We really talking about it.
And even the breakfast diet.
You know.
That's bullshit right there. The breakfast, all that shit's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Eating 3 times a day, all that. It's shit. It's all bullshit, man. Drinking.
Wait a minute, man. Wait a minute. Who told you you had to eat 3 times a day?
I mean, that's that establishment. That's that American. You know what I'm saying? Well, you know what? It is, but at the same time, if you think about it, in prison they feed you 3 times.
I'll tell you something. Okay.
The hospital they do too.
If you're eating 3 times a day, right? They're not telling you that your digestive system got to work hard. I'm telling you that. Okay. Now let me bring up one last topic. Because I told you last week they're going to bring monkeypox and bring it under another name and stuff right. Monkeypox. But now they're telling you about the monkeypox. And they're telling you that it's going to be...
hold on, but not what you just do. That sound better. Because the other shit was echoing like he was God.
I think he went on mute. It might be his when he came on. Actually, it is.
Oh, okay.
But hey, look, I don't know what's going on with Frank. You think he got an echo somewhere? Matter of fact, now I know he do because he went on mute. But it's all right. But don't worry about it right now. That's where my echo coming from. That wasn't him. That was me. That was him. But look, don't worry about it. Okay. Now listen closely now. Now they coming out saying it's coming from men with men. And we kept saying this was not of us. So that go to show you what's your favorite saying, Shaq, what they gonna do with these men? What you say they need to do?
Hey, hey, they need to plug their asshole, man. Hey, they need to mandate plugs for their ass. If they mandate masks for us, spread they need to mandate some plugs and butt plugs for these motherfuckers.
Have sex
until this shit slow down.
Don't do this, don't do that. Let me give me a break. God damn. For 72 damn cases.
Where did it come from? You know what I'm saying? Didn't they say that the vaccine is the vaccine will protect you from it? How the fuck the vaccine protect them from it when this shit just came out? See, I'm telling you, these people are really tricky with this shit, man. They give you the buzzwords. You see what I'm saying? They give you the symbolism. Well, especially with us. You see what I'm saying? They give you the fear-based initiatives, man, the tactics, scaring you, anxiety. You see what I'm saying? I mean, and they just let it go to work. And it goes to work on the so-called American public. You see what I'm saying? And exactly how they want it to, man. These people are clever, man. I ain't even gonna lie. Just like they gave you the pandemic, man, they gave you that, raise or lower the interest rates so your ass could spend, kept your ass in the house, and gave you only a choice, but to either go spend something, go to the store, or go home. You wasn't working, so you was either going to the store, going home, going to the store, going home, going to the motherfucking buying PlayStations and eating. That's true.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? So it's all see right there. That that lets you know too. That was to get people to spend more.
No, Claudia Ma. It's not sad they're giving you the babies. It's sad that the people doing it.
And where's the parents?
That's true.
Where are the parents? I mean, people have been saying,
recently that you don't allow.
That's true. People have been saying recently that this group or these generation, whatever the cases are, really soft and stuff like that. Man, they're engineering and they're making it to where motherfuckers is like, you see what I'm saying? Motherfuckers is quote unquote soft and you know, to where you really really passive. You see what I'm saying? When it comes down to certain things like this, because you know, even when there was protests and stuff like that, the trucker rally and stuff like that, they was doing that for fuel and for the jab and stuff like that. But my thing is, and that, you know, those are pretty important things to protest about. But my thing is, or the mandates, excuse me. But my thing is, what are these parents doing? These parents, they ain't even really complaining. I don't hear nothing from no damn parents. You see what I'm saying? I don't. It's like, and the thing is, I mean, I know it's not easy and it's not cheap, but why are none of these people pulling their kids out of public school? You see them, you know, like seriously, dude, like what's up with that, man? You know, but you don't hear these parents, you know, man. What was recently they about to.
That ain't the reason why, man.
They about to make it look. They about to make it to where 5-year-olds and under could get the jab. Like, what's wrong with this picture, man? Why is nobody in uproar? I don't see, you know, but it was protesting with the abortions, right? The you know, my body, my choice, not too long ago, right? But you don't see nobody protesting this. If an animal, Free Willy or somebody get hurt, you see what I'm saying? One of these damn animals, they gonna be pro PETA and all these people. You know what I'm saying? National Wildlife Defense and all these people gonna be protesting that. See, it's
you know what though, Frank?
Desensitizing.
I kind of gotta slightly disagree on this one because I really don't think I think they know who they got, right? And I look at it like this. If you got it, you're going to bring your child. It's like a recycling door. I brought my 12-year-old to get it. Now I brought this person. Now I'm going to bring my baby, right?
Right.
So they probably looking for repeat customers. Because they're going, if you and Chaq are willing customers, they're not looking for you nowhere.
That's true.
Yeah. But it's going to be a lot of people who not going to be repeat customers either. So I'm just pointing that out as well. Not at least for their child. Might did it to themselves, but not for their child. So that's the difference.
But at the same time, they still know that this is they can cash cow on this. You know, use this as a cash cow, man, and just clean up, man. Because you figure, because they doing that, and they also trying to get most of this population jabbed up, man. So, you know, what's left? You know, the 5-year-olds and the toddlers and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So. And it, you know, so like, but that's a good point what you're saying. You know, repeat customers, but it's just it's all a strategy at the end of the day, man.
Product,
you know what I'm saying?
Product ain't selling like it was, brother. You gotta
true.
find. Well, just remember, got a lot of things left on the agenda. The clown show is gonna keep on going. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round. And back around, and where it stops, nobody knows. But you've been seeing all these cows and sheep die. They claim a pack of wolves on June 4th came and killed 143 sheep. I'm like, okay, I know wolves eat sheep, but they're not killing that many. Just to have a nice snack.
That's what I'm saying.
So
these wolves must be hungry. They must have been hungry. They must have been hungry for about a year now. They got that. Starving.
Hey man. Hey look man. What is? We can't even eat them in sheep. Oh, Frank. Let me say one thing before I go. The mayor of New Orleans did for Juneteenth celebration, she did bring a sculpture of a giant Afro hairpick to celebrate Juneteenth.
Oh, I seen that.
No, stop.
Pull it up.
Wow.
Pull it up. Pull it up, Frank.
Isn't she Asian or something? Who was the mayor?
No, she's black.
She Asian, ain't she?
No.
Oh.
Okay, okay. The mayor, what, you said the mayor of DC, right?
New Orleans.
Oh, yeah, New Orleans. Oh, yeah, I think yeah.
No,
wow.
They celebrated something in the water. They had a shooting down there.
Boy, if that just show how, boy, wow. That's worse than, wow.
See, but it lets you know something about, they know something about our history that we don't, dude. Something's not right. You know what I'm saying? Something's up with this shit, you know. It ain't just because of color of our skin, it's something else and shit, you know, deeper than that. You know, because they don't treat Africans and they don't treat the Indians and stuff like that be dark and shit. There's something else is going on. You know what I'm saying? They don't treat people. Oh, the color
Yeah,
of
I'm gonna
skin.
tell
No,
you,
but they
Frank.
treat other people that don't look that look like us. They don't treat them like that. Something's not right. You know what I'm saying?
Put it like this. I think it's Jay Rocks. I gotta get his book. I think Black Skin, White Mask, or some shit like that.
That's for France Fanon.
France Fanon. That's France Fanon?
Yep.
I'm about to read that because the psychology.
It's cold.
I really do believe, man. I always thought that. I said that. I really think there's some blacks that's controlling some shit. They hide behind this white face. These black motherfuckers hide behind white. But you're supposed to be number one people, first grade. I mean, with all this melanin and stuff, how the hell do they know I see? Shit up.
I know they give us
Make that
everything.
make sense.
I know they give us a lot of stuff in reverse. Like, you know what I'm saying? That swastika, that's some Ethiopian shit, dude. Like, that shit's not even a white supremacy shit at
So
all.
make that
and
make
shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, even the cross burning, that's not no white supremacist shit, dude. Like, it's just, they do everything. A lot of shit, dude, it'd be backwards, man. It'd be the other way around. And, you know, a lot of this stuff, man.
They
You know what I'm
burnt
saying?
Man, you weren't supposed to idolize nothing like that. How you idolize torture? That was a torture. What's that?
Right. I don't know how
Like
do you
Richard.
analyze that.
Crucify somebody like that.
Dude, you know what I'm saying? But they give us the stuff in reverse, man. They really give, you know, just like the robes that the so-called Klan wear. Well, there really is a Klan, but the robes that they wear, you see what I'm saying? That is some Spain shit, some Italian, Spanish fucking Catholic Church shit, dude. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what does that have to do with, you know what I'm saying, the Klan and shit, man? Even
Why did the judges wear?
That's what I'm saying, dude. It's they be lying, man. They really do. Even the blackface, they do that in Spain to, you know what I'm saying, to honor the soldiers, man, and you know, honor the black soldiers and stuff that fought. You know, it's just a lot of stuff that they do. You know, that we're taught. You know what I'm saying, that is so-called racist. Well, there's, you know, or that's this and that, and it don't really be that, man. It's like that lets you know that these people really control thought, really control fear. They got us by the emotions. You see what I'm saying? Like, you know, we all know the areas that there is racism in. We got the school system, you know what I'm saying? We got the jobs, you know what I mean? The careers. We got it in the banks. You see what I'm saying? We got it in the police department. You see what I'm saying? That's where the racism really is. If you want to keep it real, you know what I'm saying? They give us all this, oh man, this is racist, this is racism, white supremacy. When I keep hearing that, man, from these YouTubers especially, man, I'm looking at a lot of people really weird because it's just like, all right, what are you trying to do about this shit? You know what I'm saying? And why you keep trying to push that white supremacy like as if these people are superior than us. They're not superior than you. They're not. I don't understand why we're calling them that. I can see if they call themselves that, that'd be different and shit. You know what I'm saying? But like, they're not even calling themselves that, man. Some white supremacists supposedly call themselves that, but you know what I'm saying? I think it's all, a lot of this shit is a part of like, you experience racism and shit. You'll experience it. You feel me? And you have. We all have. But it's just like, they just get us in our feelings and shit, man, with the little code buzz trigger words, you know what I'm saying? You know, the George Floyd, all this stuff, man, is just, all this stuff was just to get you in your, man. And come to find out, the person behind Black Lives Matter and all of them that was pushing that, there was a white dude named George Soros. You see what I'm saying? That's funding all this shit really behind the curtain. So, you know, like, come on, man. Seriously, you know? But, you know, like I said, we're going to stay in our feelings, man, and stay, you see what I'm saying? Just stay in our feelings, man. Letting these gatekeepers, like you were saying, Shaq, that's who be pushing all this stuff and these false agendas and stuff and trying to call themselves representing us and talking for us, is these damn gatekeepers, man. You see what I'm saying? These so-called misleaders, man. They ain't, you know, how come no other groups has a leader titles? You know what I'm saying? Why don't they got the titles? You see what I'm saying? Because they know that they're people, even if they are in secret societies, like I said earlier, even if they are in a brotherhood, whatever the hell the case is, they're still going to do something for their people, bottom line. You see what I'm saying? Our people are not. Those people sell, oh yeah, I'm this and that, I'm, you know, I got this, I know this, and I know these secrets that y'all don't know. Okay, fuck the people, you know what I'm saying? Fuck my people. That's basically what it is. What did Clyburn say? As long as me and my people are good, me and my family's good, I don't want nothing from Biden. But that makes sense, dude, you know what I'm saying? Why would you and shit, you know what I'm saying?
Who is Yaku?
Yeah, that's the dude that on the island or whatever that made the The white race or something like that, right?
Yeah.
The white germ.
Yep. A lot.
That's a nigga.
The Nation of Islam. They talk about that. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what? Why you brought that up, Frank? The Honorable Elijah Muhammad talked about the worst devil is a black devil, and I never knew what he meant.
Ooh.
So obviously he knows something deep that we don't know.
Just like these,
like because we all black folks ain't the same. So it make you wonder, where did these white folks get this slavery and get some of this hateful stuff? Who they get it from? There's some people that look like us that don't like us.
Right.
And that's the deep history that ain't nobody talking about.
Just like Ann Coulter. What did Ann Coulter say? Ann Coulter says, man, see, that lets you know that these people, so-called celebrities or these so-called people with status and shit like that, they know a lot that we don't know and shit. Like Ann Coulter straight up said about the Indians. She was like, nah, she basically said we the Indians and shit. Ann Coulter said that he said, oh, what about the Native American, whatever. She said they migrated from the Bering Straits. Damn, she straight said that shit. She said the reparations owed to black, or shit like that, civil rights is owed to black people. You see what I'm saying? And just them. All these other motherfuckers, basically she was saying that they were immigrants.
And you know what they would call Ann Coulter?
It's gonna call her racist, bro.
Oh, I guarantee you probably some black folks call her racist.
Or maybe crazy for saying that, huh? Yeah. Or anti-Semite or Semite or something, something like that.
I told my people one time, man, Biden talking about reparations. They're like, who you gonna give it to?
He was never for reparations. Neither was Obama. Neither was Bernie Sanders. You notice none of these Dems was ever for that shit. Ever. None of them. And they low-key straight out said they wasn't. And guess what? We still voted for him, dude. That's why I be telling people, man, that's on y'all and shit, dude. Like, I know they already selected him anyway. They already put him in the White House anyway. Shit, you know, our vote don't matter. But still, the fact that y'all voted for him, dude, y'all really looking crazy, dude. And that just goes to show where your faith lies and your loyalty lies with us and shit, dude. You know what I'm saying? Those are the type of motherfuckers, you know, you do a crime with them, they'll sell you. They gonna tell on your ass quicker than them singing on your ass like a canary, dude. A lot of our people just not loyal. Hey, they're not loyal to themselves, man. They don't know what the hell they doing. They don't know, you know what I'm saying, left or right, man, you know. You know, when it comes down to politics, we politically lazy. Like I be saying, we so politically lazy, man. We not trying to do no damn. We ain't even trying to read. So what makes you think we trying to do some research on some shit, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? But then we call the white man, oh, racist. Oh, but we listen to that same racist white media when they tell us about some virus or when they tell us about, you see what I'm saying? Some mass shootings or some, you know what I mean? We listen to them same people and believe the shit stories. So it's like, we can't win for losing, dude. We don't know what the fuck we want to do, man. You know, that's crazy.
Hey, look. You know why we don't win? Because a lot of us don't know what team we on.
Ooh, that's true. Ooh.
Hey.
Damn.
Hey. Are you serving? I would just use it for purpose of discussion. Are you serving the universe? Or are you serving the satanic force?
Ooh.
They don't read for nothing, Dawson. You're right. They believe the lying propaganda media. And even Malcolm X told you, the media is the greatest entity on earth. It can make the innocent be guilty and the guilty be innocent.
Damn.
Ain't that something? And you know what? That's why it always happens like that.
Yeah, he was talking about the media back then. He was talking about the white liberal too.
Well, but look though. The white liberal of the day, right? It's the same one.
Yep.
You know, it's just now. The only thing I will say, they're a lot more bolder though. Because I'm gonna tell you something. In the '60s, you wouldn't have been bringing no chicken dinners to us. You might have came to the church. You didn't have no chicken dinner.
Damn.
Man, I guarantee you, If Kamala Harris came to a church, no, not a church. I don't know, Mike could come to a church, by the way. But I ain't worried about a church. If Kamala Harris could come to a club and started dancing the juveniles, back that ass up, I guarantee you she could get about 300 votes right there.
What about how Hillary Clinton, went
She
to
won't get no vote, but she'll get a pope.
What about how Hillary Clinton went to that church? What about how Hillary Clinton went to that church and said that she had hot sauce in her pocket? Damn.
She won't know church.
Where she was at?
She was Charlamagne and DJ Envy at the Breakfast Club.
Oh yeah, damn, that's even worse. Though, what does having hot sauce in your pocket have anything to do with anything at a fucking radio?
Hot sauce in my bag.
Damn, dude, that's some straight up stereotype, man. They be hitting us with the stereotype and shit.
With them, and they talking to them Democrats. They use kid gloves with them.
Ooh.
You got to use kid gloves. High jeeking and hoking with them.
Now I will say Charlamagne did say something, but it won't fit it now. He said, "Now you could tell she panning. They gonna say you panning the black people." She was like, "Is it working?"
Damn. Wow, bro. She did say that.
But they ain't even asking them.
That's what she said, man.
These people, dude.
Hold on.
They won't do no. Hey, they won't do no Jews like that. Hell no, dude. That's the group they ain't gonna do like that. They ain't gonna do no LGBTQYXZ. They ain't gonna do them like that. You know what I'm saying,
but
dude?
You see how they did with they tried to queer her by her.
With who?
Frank. Pull up the video.
With the hot sauce or what?
Yeah, the hot sauce. I just sent it to you.
Pull that one up and then pull the Understand King video when they was queered up.
That you always carry with you.
See the difference.
Wait a minute. Pause it. Cause you ain't got the screen up.
Oh yeah, a fair use acts, 1976, basically for commentary purposes and educational purpose. In no way, shape, or form are we trying to copyright this material or trying to infringe on this copyright.
Now where your screen at though? If I can pull it up on the thing. There it is. All right.
Oh yeah, black guys put hot sauce on everything. Simply press the button on this side of the watch. It delivers a rather liberal spritzing of hot sauce. One blast should be enough to make Caucasian food edible.
Hot sauce in my bag. Hot sauce in my bag.
Oh, hell no.
Hot sauce in my bag.
Yo, hot sauce, he just pulled up on you. Call up now, hot sauce. Get him back, Sizzle. Oh, baby.
This ain't it.
Hot sauce.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Are you getting information right now? Hot sauce. Hot sauce in my bag, Swag? Hot sauce. Really? Yes. Now listen, I just want you to know people are going to see this and say, okay, she's pandering to black people. Okay. Is it working?
Damn, dude. Damn.
I told you, say, is it working?
Niggas.
That's what you said. Is it working?
We the only group that lets people humiliate us like that.
No, but look at them though.
Even the Mexicans don't do that, dude. Like, to let motherfuckers.
But look
do
at
like
them
that.
though.
You know what I'm saying?
They laughing. Look at this chick, Angela Yee. She laughing, man.
Right. She a joke too.
But her people, you remember, her people is the type of people that beat on black women in nail shop. So they tell you to hurry up and buy and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? When you go in the liquor store. So I understand why she laughing.
We'll pull the Angela Stan King one up, how serious they was and how
they was tripping.
How they was trying to push back on her.
Dude, they was tripping on Angela Stan King, dude. Man, they was jumping her, man. Damn. They was verbally jumping her and shit. They was like, damn, that was bad and shit, man. Charlamagne and her and Angela Yee was going back, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right, you think
Angela Yee's still fiction.
You think she'd have been standing with her?
Damn.
A mother, especially Angela Stan King, is a mother from some type of moral standpoint. Like, hold on, y'all.
Oh Oh, you want me to pull that up? All right, hold up.
Yeah, pull it up.
Okay, hold up. All right. Fair Use Act of 1976. This is just for commentary purposes only and educational purposes. By no way, shape, or form are we trying to infringe on this copyright of this material. Man, they're pushing that agenda.
Wake that ass up early in the morning. The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest on the Zoom right now. We have Angela Stanton King. Welcome.
Thank you guys so much for having me on the show.
Well, Angela, tell them a little bit about yourself. You're running for Congress in Georgia right now, right?
I'm running for Congress in Georgia in the 5th District against John Lewis. I am from Atlanta, been there most of my life. Most of you may know my story from a while back. I spent some time in prison for a nonviolent charge. Ended up giving birth to my daughter, chained to a bed, came home, went through a lot of trials and tribulations to get to where I am today. Ended up using my story to not only pass the First Step Act, but also make it illegal for women to be chained during childbirth. I ended up getting a full pardon from the president, and now I'm running for Congress to use my story, to use my experiences, and bring hope to our people.
You got a pardon from President Trump?
Full pardon from President Trump.
Now, do you think that you would be a Trump? Do you think you would be a Trump supporter if he hadn't pardoned you?
I've supported Trump before I got a pardon.
Now, why do you support Trump? What values do you see in Trump that make you a supporter?
I support his policies. He's the first president that's for pro-life. There are, nearly 60 million black babies that have been aborted since Roe v. Wade passed. And if we talk about Black Lives Matter, then we know that Black Lives Matter even in the womb. He also signed the most historic criminal justice reform that I had a part of. And we freed over 7,000 people from prison. 91% of them were black. He's also permanently funded HBCUs. He also lifted the federal ban that was against faith-based HBCUs. Before COVID hit, we had the lowest black unemployment. The fact that the man was willing to listen to someone like me and allow me to influence him to not only pass the First Step Act, but make it illegal for women to give birth in chains, I realized that this man is not the man that they're proclaiming him to be.
I don't have any problem with a person voting their interests. I saw a quote you said, I credit President Trump for being my inspiration. Before she became active in conservative politics, I was a lifelong Democrat just because. Well, monkey see, monkey do. I was just doing everything that my family was doing. I guess we had all been duped. So what made you, get away from the Democratic Party?
Well,
you just told a fool.
From prison. I was a convicted felon. I was a single mother. I had 4 children before me. They gave me a $25 check and a bus ticket and said, "Here, go start your life over." Well, we had absolutely nowhere to go. I couldn't get the welfare that I'd been able to get before. I couldn't get any housing assistance. So I had to figure out how I was going to make it. I had a God-given gift, which was writing. So I wrote my life story. From there, I went on to being a national best-selling author and then starting my own publishing company. Not only that, the part about being a single mother, remembering when I was getting those benefits and how Section 8 said, as a single mother, we'll help you and your children, but the father can't live in a home. Or when I was receiving welfare, they'll say, okay, you'll get this certain amount of money at the beginning every month, but you can only make a certain amount. It wasn't until I was denied government benefits and nobody wanted to help me that I discovered my greatness. And so this road to entrepreneurship is how I eventually became free. And I know if we really want to be free as a people, we got to reduce poverty. Because once we reduce poverty, we reduce crime. We need more entrepreneurs. And if I can do it, anybody can do it.
You can do that as part of any party, though, or being an independent. You don't have to be a part of a party to do that, though, right?
Well, I mean, for me personally, I'm a conservative because I don't believe in handouts. I believe in hand-ups. When we talk about the Democratic Party, it's a large focus on welfare, right? People only need welfare for a certain amount of time. We don't need to become lifelong welfare recipients. I'm also not.
Oh, we lost you. There we go.
I'm sorry. I'm also not a Democrat because of abortion. This is my thing. Roe v. Wade was passed off of a lie. As of right now, where we are, we're always crying about being an oppressed minority, but we are always going to be an oppressed minority if we continue to abort our offspring. Abortion is the biggest genocide against Black America. They strategically place their abortion clinics in our neighborhoods. And just about every time you hear a Democratic candidate go on stage, the first thing they say is Black women need access to abortion. So if we really want to restore the value to our own lives, if we really want to say,
right, though, a woman's right for abortion.
I just want to.
If a girl, like let's say a 16-year-old girl was raped, or somebody was raped and they're pregnant, and they don't want to have that child, they don't want to have that experience. You don't feel like it's a woman's right to have an abortion?
So they talk about women's rights and women's choice. We need to first figure out why the government gave us the choice to kill our children and get away with it. Because as a man, you make the child. If you wanted to kill the baby, you would go to jail. You don't have a right to decide whether or not your child lives. Neither should a woman. Even in the instance of rape, let's just talk about it because I've been raped before. I have a 27-year-old daughter that's a lawyer, still deciding to choose life because at the end of the day, that child is still partly mine. Now, if you can't kill the person who raped you, why are we killing the child? And in addition to that, rape is only 1% of abortions. So the argument that's on the floor right now about abortion is the Democrats wanting to fund it. It's not necessarily taking away a woman's right, which I don't believe any woman should want to right. Because here's the thing, you're taking away someone else's right to live.
Well, I'm definitely pro-choice, and I highly disagree.
I'm pro-choice, and one of the reasons I'll say that is because I think history has proven that when abortion was illegal, women were still having abortions, and they were doing them in very unsafe ways and dying.
It still is illegal. What's she talking about when it was illegal?
And then the only people who had access were people who could pay for private physicians so that they were able to travel, go get that done, pay a large sum of money. So that actually endangered our people who were living in poverty because they couldn't afford to go to a private doctor.
Let me tell you something. A baby dies every time in an abortion. Every time a woman has an abortion, a baby dies. You can't say Black Lives Matter and don't include the Black lives that are in the womb. Now, when you're talking about healthcare,
is it a fetus or a baby?
Let's talk about it. Look up the definition of a fetus. A fetus is a human baby. Now, when I'm talking about healthcare and in the Black community, we need to remember the Nitty Project and Title X funds. When you go research the history of Planned Parenthood, the founder, Margaret Sanger, was a racist. The Negro Project was about them implementing birth controls into our population, into our communities to keep us from populating, to keep us from reproducing. Now, the thing of it is, when you guys say you're pro-choice, you have to think about this, the word and the trick. Why is it pro-life and then pro-choice? Because the opposite of life is death. The choice is death. So what we have to decide now is when we are voting is, are you going to vote for your children, your future children to die or your future children to live? Why not give them access to, it's a choice. What's the choice though?
Life or death.
Okay, so why would a mother choose death for her child? Everybody that's here, even all of us who's alive, we got here because our mamas got pregnant.
Hey. Wow. He right. Life or death. He just said it.
They be saying shit.
Right. Come on, man.
They're like they debunk it. They be debunking themselves, like you know what I'm saying.
Pro-choice, but there's only one choice. It's the choice of the
life or death. That was Biggie last album, dude. Life or death.
Ooh, man.
First one was Ready to Die.
Ooh.
Right.
Good point.
Look, go ahead and play about 5 more minutes of it. I don't see this thing with these clowns, and we get the drift. This is a legitimate clown show. All 3 of them a bunch of clowns.
At the end of the day, it's somebody's life. So how is it that
I don't think
everybody that's advocating for abortion has never been aborted? How are you going against someone else's right to live? Because if you understand lifespan development, you know that we all go from being an embryo to a fetus to an infant to a toddler to a child to a teenager. It's a life. So when you guys say
Context matters though. Context matters. If a woman got raped, and I understand you say it's less than 1%, but if a woman got raped, I wouldn't expect her to carry that child.
Okay, so
but why are you bringing that up?
Let's just say that's fair, and that's the decision for it. If they say, okay, we're gonna make this exception. If a woman is raped, let her make that decision. We still ended somebody else's life that didn't commit the rape. Let's remember that. But what about the other 99%? What about the fact that every time you see an advertisement for Planned Parenthood, it's targeting Black women? What about the fact that 46% of our population has been aborted since 1974 when Roe v. Wade was passed? So when we're talking about the Black vote and how we are the minority, why are we not waking up and realizing that we are not only killing our own army, but also aborting our votes? So what I would like to do as a congressman, because I promise you, everybody is voting for our children to die on the Democrat side. I would love to bring balance. I would love to give opportunity to women. Because look, you can't tell me that the only way I can survive and be successful is by having an abortion when I'm a woman that came home from prison and raised 4 kids on my own, which are all a blessing. So if we want them to value our lives, then we need to begin to value the lives of our offspring. My one vote on the floor, the only thing it's going to do is bring balance. Because at the end of the day, I want to save Black life.
I still believe in a woman's right to choose what to do with her body and her reproduction.
And
I still believe
because it is her body. Have the same body, but you and your mother don't have the same body. It's not her body. So again,
it's inside of her body.
It's a baby inside of her body. It's still
an embryo.
So if you can live with.
I still feel that as history has shown, women are still going to have abortions, whether or not it's illegal, and it's a very dangerous practice.
So that's an excuse to support a racist organization that has wiped out half of our race.
We would rather to support what?
Is that an excuse to support a racist organization that has wiped out half of the Black race?
Ooh.
Planned Parenthood doesn't only provide, Planned Parenthood doesn't only provide abortions for people. They do a lot more work than that as well.
So does every other OBGYN. We don't need Planned Parenthood to provide those services. We can go to any health clinic and get those services. Not only that, Planned Parenthood was just offered $60 million from our federal government for those funds. To take care of those other programs. They walked away from it because the stipulation was that they couldn't use those funds to perform abortion. Now, that is no excuse for us to say we're going to support, and it's documented that this is a racist organization.
Because you believe that doesn't make it that other women have to believe that. You can believe that you're against abortion, and that's fine. You can be against abortion, but you can't make another woman do what she wants to do with her body.
I don't think she's trying to.
Why does the Democrat Party have to pay for it? Why do us as pro-lifers, people that believe in life and want your children to live, your future children to live, why do our tax dollars have to pay for those children to be slaughtered? Because not only are they murdered and dismembered in the womb, but then their body parts are sold and some of them are harvested. So what they're voting for on the floor now is funding it. I don't want to support a party that wants to pay for Black life to be exterminated. I do not support the Democrat Party. If you can't give Black women another option besides abortion, and if every time we come up as a Black people, as a community on the floor, the only thing we're being offered is free access to abortion, then that tells me you don't really care about Black life.
So I think that's the only option that's being offered? That's not the only option that's being offered.
So tell me what else
people have options.
Mainstream news.
People have options. They can choose that. They can choose to put a baby up for adoption. They can choose to. They can do whatever they want. And if they choose to have an abortion,
why do you feel like people who don't believe in killing babies should have to pay for it with tax dollars? If you want to abort your child, why do I have to pay for it?
I don't feel like, well, first of all, I don't think that
what you're paying is just for abortions when you pay for services from a clinic. That's not all that they do. That's a small percentage of it.
Them turning away the $60 million in federal funding for those programs. So what I'm saying is what they're asking for is to fund abortion. What we're saying is we don't want to pay for it. And the same thing with sex reassignment surgery. As a conservative, it's not something that tax dollars should fund.
Because you're anti-LGBTQIA.
I'm not anti. Don't say that. Don't
I'm
say
asking.
that.
I'm just asking.
But you did.
Some of the things I don't agree with. I'm not anti, because when you say anti-LGBTQ, you putting in lesbian, bi, gay, you lumping everything in together.
So what are you anti? What are you against then? Explain. I'm asking. So what are you against, ma'am?
This is what I don't agree with. I don't agree that I should be forced to recognize a man as a woman if he has had a sex change. I don't believe I should be forced to recognize that. I also don't believe that children should be associated with anything LGBTQ. I'm not against anybody grown doing what they want to do, but I am against associating children with that, and here is why. When you break down LGBTQ, what it means and what it stands for, it's all sexual preference. Children shouldn't be identifying with sexual preference. So when you have gay characters in cartoons, in every essence, you are opening up the door and teaching children about sex. This is my opinion. I feel as though laws need to be in place that protect children. That's all where I'm at.
You know, gender and sexual preference are two different. Gender and sexual preference are two different things. Just because you're associating you are a certain gender doesn't mean that you're having sex and that's a sexual preference.
And so let's
Bitch,
talk
shut up.
about
You a
that.
damn lie.
Even when it comes to children, why are we confusing children with gender identity?
I don't think that children are confused when they say, this is the body that I feel like I have, and this is what I am. I don't think anyone's
Well, it's confusing.
on them.
If I say I'm a turtle, does that make me a turtle?
Is that a gender that's an option for you?
I would respect your right to be a
just because I
turtle,
feel like it. So wouldn't you say that? Wouldn't you say
Angela,
that being a woman is more than a feeling?
Angela, I would respect your right to be a turtle. If you wanted to be a turtle, I would not tell you that you're not a turtle.
Like
okay, but you don't have the right to make my children
daughter.
believe that but I don't have the right to use my influence or make laws to make children believe that you can magically turn into a turtle when we know that it's not true. So there's a certain thing called gender dysphoria, and it's very similar to people that have anorexia. So people that have anorexia, in their minds, they believe that they're fat. They really are not. Gender dysphoria is the same thing. We have people that believe that they are in the wrong bodies. They are not. So here's my thing. Having an operation to make you look like the opposite sex does not make you the opposite sex. I feel it's confusing children. Now, I'm not here to take away gay rights. I have a son that's a part of the community. I have an aunt that's a part of the community. Plenty of friends. I love them. But I stand on what I believe, and that's only two genders.
So your son is gay. So you can't be. There's no way you
Yes,
can't
he
be
is.
LGBT.
Yeah, I raised him. I love him to death.
So you're anti-trans.
Here's the thing, you can't. I'm anti what?
There she goes.
Trans, right.
Y'all love to use that word. I never said that. Grown people can do what they want to do, but why are we confusing children? Why are we trying to make children believe in something that's not real?
I think that if
you can get a sex change, no children can get a sex change. So you're mad like Dwayne Wade and
yes, they can.
And how he's raising his son.
Yes, they can. You don't know that there are laws allowing children to be given hormone blockers that's actually sterilizing them now and keeping them from producing breast stuff before they've even gone into puberty. Yes, they are. And so there need to be laws against that. So I just took my daughter to the doctor the other day. She was only 15 years old. She just turned 16. And the first thing the doctor asked her was, what gender do you identify with? First of all, ma'am, that's a minor. She identified with what she was born. She was a female. She's known she's a female ever since I gave birth to her. So why are we encouraging mental health? Why are we allowing them to confuse our youth, confuse our children? When you grow up and you're an adult, if that's what you want to do, you have every right. I believe people should love who they want to love, absolutely. But when we come to our children and giving them options and now allowing them to make informed decisions, we need to tell them the truth.
I think that it's easy to say that when you haven't. Go ahead, Charlamagne. I think it's easy to say that when you haven't experienced it and you don't know what it's like. But as a person who I myself know many trans women, I understand that they felt like, for a majority of them, they felt like that since they were young. I was born and I was assigned this gender at birth as a male, but I feel like I'm a woman.
Angela,
and that's the gender that I identify with.
Listening what you're saying.
And I think that it is dangerous for you to tell a child they can't be who they are, because that leads to all kinds of mental trauma later on in life.
Let's do this. Let's do this. So you saying, first of all, let's talk about what you said. You said all of your transgender friends, and I have them too, saying that they felt like they were a woman. Well, being a woman is more than the feeling. Feeling like a woman doesn't make you a woman. And when you tell me that, I'm telling a child, let's just say my son who was gay, if he told me he felt like he was a female, that I would be doing damage to him by telling him that he's a male. I feel like I would be doing damage to him by telling him that he's a female, which would also dismember in his body, and believing that he is a female, because even after they go through the surgery, reality hits. They are still not biological women. So the healthy and responsible thing to do as a parent is to tell your child the truth and teach them to love themselves and be comfortable in the skin that they are in. So you can't tell me you're telling people to accept themselves for who they are when they are not accepting themselves for who they are.
But you're telling them who they are instead of letting them be who they are.
No. I'm not telling them who they are. I'm helping them understand who they are, because what you want to do is tell them a lie. Because you can tell a man all day he a woman.
I don't think anybody's telling a child that if they feel like that and this is who I am.
You would be
I'm not going to say
your child, and you would be lying to your child, and you would be an irresponsible parent to lie to your child and make them believe that they are something other than they are born. But however, I don't want to waste too much time on anything negative or creating this atmosphere like I'm against LGBTQ or I'm against anybody, because I'm not. I just have my beliefs. But I would love to talk about unemployment and what I would like to do for the District of Georgia.
We definitely gonna get there, Angela. I want to ask you one question. You raised your son as a liberal.
No, I didn't.
You didn't? How'd you raise your son?
I didn't necessarily push any politics. I didn't necessarily.
No. I don't mean on him.
So you let him be what he wanted to be.
Yeah, I don't mean on him.
With the bullshit.
He's a gay male.
Hey, come on, man.
That was a low blow right there,
be a man. Yeah, well, no, what I meant was your views was that of a liberal. So as your views switched to conservative, that changed?
No, actually, to be completely honest, my views were always that of conservative, which most black people are. You understand? But I was always voting Democrat because we just had this monolithic thought process, and we just went ahead with it because that's what everyone else was doing. But when it came to traditional family values, when it came to being entrepreneurs, hand up, not hand out, starting your own business, when it came to things like faith, the freedom of religious rights, those things, I had always had that mindset, but was still voting Democrat, voting against my own interests.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's talk about unemployment, because your president, Donald Trump, is the reason that 40 million people are unemployed right now because of his response to coronavirus.
I would disagree. I would disagree. I would disagree. But let's talk about this.
You disagree about his response to the coronavirus? What do you disagree about?
Well, let's talk about his response. What about his response did you guys have the issue with?
I mean, the fact that he denied it in February and said that, it was only one case.
Well, in January, he tried to close the borders against China, and they called him a racist and a xenophobe and a bigot and everything else. And then he actually did close the borders to China. Not only that, he mentioned COVID at his State of the Union speech on February 4th, when that Nancy Pelosi ripped up. And then she went to Chinatown saying that COVID wasn't a big issue. So I think that because this is something that has happened, this is his first time in presidency. I'm not here to defend him. I know a lot of times he say things that are wild. I'm more focused on his policies, but I do think that he handled it as best as he could in his administration, especially if we look at what's happening now. I have to question the validity of COVID when we have all of these Democrat leaders that were telling us it wasn't safe for us to go to church, it wasn't safe for us to open our businesses, but yet we see them all lined up at a funeral with 3,000 people after several people have lost their loved ones and wasn't even able to bury them. So I have to question the validity of it at this point.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't think Donald Trump is a
Why would I think Donald Trump is a racist when I know?
Damn,
we get, hey, look, man. Hey, man.
But we see how they use Key Club.
We could hey man, it's like watching three hound dogs in the park that can't even find a rabbit to eat, man. She was daggone, the rabbit was chasing them. Ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun, man.
Dude.
That stuff was funny as hell, man.
She got him though, man.
They got no supposed to Hillary Clinton, though.
That's what I'm saying. Kamala went there. Kamala went there. Shit.
Damn.
Yeah, but you know, I just laugh at it, man. It's political theater, but daggone, it's surely good when you start seeing somebody just come and just tear them clowns up. I'm pretty sure if you went in check and get them clowns a run for their money.
But she didn't go after.
But see, because
go.
Nah, go ahead, Frank.
They didn't go after the European Hillary Clinton though, but they had all the smoke for the so-called black lady. See, you see how we do each other, and how they have us do each other on a public platform.
That's right. She was the wolf. That's right. That's cool. Yeah, she was the wolf. I was just looking at her saying she ain't no problem with the rabbit got the gun. So, hey man, but you know what? Come to think about it, they've been trying to get Bugs Bunny, Elmer Fudd, and some of these cartoons off these shows due to gun violence.
Well, they need to take Bonanza. They need to take gun smoke and all these goddamn shit off there. Like I said, John Wayne used his gun to defend himself.
Yeah, well, like I said, this has been a great adventure, man. I gotta give it 6 o'clock in the morning, but hey, look, this was some funny stuff, man. Hey, I can watch that 50,000 times. I wouldn't get tired, man. I love to see people get made mistakes out for dumb stuff like that.
Yeah, that was good, man.
Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah. Well, I feel, girl, you feel too much. Stop feeling on yourself. That's what I'd have told her.
But see, that's the thing. Emotions, you know, we too emotional as people, man. That's the thing, man. That's what that is and shit, you know.
Well, look, y'all go ahead and shout out your information and stuff, man.
Word, cool. All right, BJ, man. Good looking out for letting me back on the show.
Thank you, man.
Miss Lockhart in the building. Oh yeah. What's up, Felicia? But okay, yeah, man. So you know, you got to catch me at on YouTube at X Frank Nitty XX, or just hit me up on the gram, man. You know what I'm saying, at Frank Jones 8115. Appreciate letting me come on again, BJ, man. It was a good show. This is real good, man.
Go ahead.
Yeah, salute to you good guys, man. Man, to give our opinions, man. You know, this is we can fight back, like still letting people know that we ain't falling for the standing up. You guys catch me at CLE Smooth. You know, if y'all feel like hitting up that cash app, but it's always good, man, to meet with you guys, man. Have a conversation and good feedback, you know.
Let me bring something up right here. Hey, Frank.
What up?
I realized when it went on mute, thing I didn't have echo. So next time, we got to find out what's going on with this echo thing, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, hold on. Go on mute again, Frank, and let's see.
Can you hear me?
Well, there you go.
Echo, right?
Right.
I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know if they tapping in his stream or whatever. Yeah, Frank.
Wow.
When you cut out, he didn't have an echo. I don't know what's up. We got to find out what's going on with it. But nevertheless, you know where to find me at. Bernard 1120 on Instagram, KingVJMedia.com. You can get me Bernard Johnson Facebook. Twitter, 1987 BJ, even though they actually tell you about the Elon Musk daggone got on that daggone. I might be trying to get these My Twitter page is back. The ones they discontinued. Yeah. Downtown 1919 BJ Cash App and KingBJFitness.com. Like I said, this guy. Hey, look. They always say the race is not to the swift, fast, but who can endure to the end. And hey, I don't know. I don't know what will happen next few weeks. I just know that look out for more psyops. We finally in the summer now. It's gonna be a wild summer, and I'm pretty sure Tuesday and Friday or Saturday are the days usually where the psyops go down. So I wouldn't be surprised if something happened today or tomorrow, whichever way you look at it.
Right.
Some people, it ain't
Yeah,
12 o'clock.
I do want to say
12 o'clock here on the East Coast. So then it is June 21st. So I don't know. Something could happen while I'm sleeping. Who knows? Hey. By the way, guys, remember this. Remember all that stuff me and Frank were talking about it for months. They were telling you the brave Ukrainians are fighting back and they are winning. And now they're saying they're losing. They're losing the whole goddamn time. Lying bad.
But what I say earlier, it hit me. I said, when you talk about the Federal Reserve, I said,
hey Frank, hold on. Frank, go on mute for a second. I want to see something. Go ahead.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good now.
Okay. Yeah, because it was echoing. But now I was just going to say that I mentioned earlier that they funded all this money and sending all this money over to Ukraine. They looking for this economic system to crash, but they got backup money. So they sending their money out now. That's backup money that they're sending out, funding it out for when this shit crash, so they can have backup money, reserve money.
Yeah. All right, Frank, you come back in. But that's right. Well, they got reserve money playing with Monopoly money. Hey, look. But hey, man, it's all saying that the mobs said in the casino, a sucker's born every minute. And hey, some people been suckers 24 hours, 365 a year, every minute. Hey man, it's a big matrix and a clown show. So either you're gonna be in the box or you're gonna step outside the box. Step outside the box, you realize it's a clown show. And if you don't, hey, they always say people perish for lack of knowledge. There's a whole lot of people that died because of a lack of knowledge. And that could be in any form, in any side of the coin. So with that being said, y'all take your time. Y'all have a good night.
All right, mate. All right,
salute.
Yeah, peace out. All right, y'all. 1.